Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Skilled87 and today I just want to show off my warrior in Guild Wars 2. This is my first official Guild Wars 2 video. I would like to do more. If you guys feel that I do a good job with this video, leave me a like and a comment. Tell me that you would like to see more, Guild Wars 2 based videos. This is my warrior and I just thought I'd share with you guys my warrior build and why I just feel that my build has just done me just wonders. Like, I really love this build. You see lots of videos on YouTube claiming that they got the perfect build, and the majority of them are pretty much just bullshit Berserker builds that you do an extreme damage and then you take 2 hits and you're dead, and then you type in the box chat, "Oh my god, I fucking died, res me." I got tired of that shit. I used to be a Berserker warrior and I seriously got tired of doing a 25,000 hit 100 blades, and then all of a sudden 2 seconds later the champion mob is like, alright, so you want to play that game? Then he 2-shots me and I'm dead and I'm pretty much fucking useless to the team. You see, Berserker Warrior seems to fail to realize that sometimes dealing excessive damage isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Sometimes being able to retreat or being able to take a hit or removing conditions is the key to victory. When you're fighting mobs, especially champions, that take more than 30 seconds to kill, i.e., dungeon bosses that take sometimes 5 to 10 minutes to kill, survivability is where it's at. So you need to find a hotspot, which I feel that I've found. And I've experimented with many runes, orbs, sets of armor. I've done all the dungeons. I played War vs. World, player vs. player. And this build has worked wonders for me in World vs. World and player vs. environment. I'm still learning how to play player vs. player effectively. That's like a game in itself. So let me stop rambling here and let me show you my, my armor. So, excuse me, this is my character. I run a full set of knight's armor, okay? The armor skin you see is Coda gear. You get that from the levels, I believe it's level 75 dungeon, Honor of the Waves. I originally had purchased a full set of draconic armor from the trade post because I was still learning and I really wasn't into dungeons at that point. I just hit level 80. I was really excited. I spent like 20 gold on knight's draconic armor and I realized I can get shit like that for free, and I was like, fuck. So I did Honor of the Waves for a week. I got the armor skins I wanted, and I used fine transmutation stones to give my knight's armor that awesome legit Honor of the Waves skin. Give me 1 second, guys. So I am rocking for the slot Ruby Orbs. Why? Because I've tried so many runes and I feel that runes are bullshit because they only give you specific stats. You get 1 or 2 stat buffs and then you have to spend all this gold to get that 6th buff, which never really ends up being all that great, okay? Especially for Warrior. Warrior is more about hitting hard, taking hits, period. They're not guardians. They're not meant to be the fucking wall. Okay, if you want to be a wall, be a guardian. You have so many defensive abilities, it's crazy. So I feel that you got to be able to take hits and hit hard at the same time. That's why I use Ruby Orbs. They're very fucking cheap. They give you power, precision, and plus crit damage. Plus, the knight's armor gives me power, precision, and toughness. So in the end, you're going to see a crazy balance. I use a soldier's greatsword. Soldier's gear gives you power, toughness, vitality. And I got the sword from Ascolian Catacombs. Matter of fact, every piece of gear I wear, I will show you how to get in the video description. I'm not going to show you here. I'm just going to talk about my gear. If you click the video description at the end of the video, I will make a clear guide on how to get every piece of armor I'm wearing and what exactly is in every piece of armor and weapon. I use Superior Sigil of Fire because it's pretty much overpowered as fuck. And if you use anything else, well, I don't know what you're doing. I seriously love to see that Flame Blast hit for over 1,000 in low-level areas. Like, you just spin into a bunch of mobs and you can kill like 10 to 15 of them in 1 fucking 100 blades because all you see is explosions one after another, and each explosion does over 1,000 damage. It's ridiculously overpowered at the moment. It might get nerfed, who knows. Very expensive. I believe I bought mine when it was about 6 gold, but hey, whatever, man. You can get 6 gold just doing some dungeons in one day. I use a Berserker style rifle because when I'm fighting from a distance, I want to do more crit damage and I want to crit more often. So I'm using a Berserker style. Okay, well, even though that may, yeah, I'm right. I'm using a Berserker style rifle so I can keep my distance, hit hard, and then once I'm recovered health-wise, I get back into the fight. For my sub-gear, aka accessories, aka jewelry, aka whatever the fuck you want to call it, every MMO is different, I use all soldiers. And excuse my language, for those who are unfamiliar with my channel, I have a very strange ADD where I stutter a lot, and for me to control the stuttering, I just curse like a madman, and it helps me gain, in a sense, composure of my voice. So I use power, toughness, vitality for all my sub-gear, and I bought this all with karma. And then for the jewels, I use Exquisite Beryl jewels, 25 power, plus 3% crit damage, and plus 15 vitality. So as you can clearly see, I'm getting a little of everything. I have power, precision, toughness, plus crit damage, and, you know, precision. And I feel I've hit that hot spot. It's ridiculous. Of course, for underwater, I use this lame-ass level 80 fine breather. I got the Berserker Harpoon and the Berserker Spear Gun. And I use the Superior Sigil of Force on my underwater weapons, because I just really want to kill shit quicker underwater. And believe it or not, that Superior Sigil of Force, as cheap as it is, it's one of the best sigils in the game, because it's 5% total of your base damage. It's ridiculous. It's a humongous increase, and it does stack on top of crits. So for traits, I use 20, 25, 25. I feel that tactics outside of a pure tank build is useless, okay? I feel you get more results with more toughness than vitality. I'm not saying vitality sucks. As you can clearly see, I have gear that upgrades my vitality, but people typically put points into tactics to get made, you know, that 3,000 plus vitality boost and boon duration. I feel that for my build, when it comes to survivability, I don't need tactics at all. Discipline, if you're anything other than Berserker Warrior, you don't need discipline at all. So I felt 20, 25, 25 is the hot spot. And for 20, you're going to use Berserker's Power, because you're never going to use your burst skill with your Greatsword. The burst skill for Greatsword really fucking sucks. So you're going to use Berserker's Power, and when you're hacking and slashing with the Greatsword, you will always have plus 12% damage increase. Then Slashing Power, obviously, it's a must. That's another plus 10%. And Arms, which I really fucking love, I feel that every warrior build needs 25 in arms at least. Every build, I swear. Like, I have not made a single warrior build without 25 in arms. Like, I will go 0 strength, but I always have 25 in arms. Rending Strikes, 33% chance to cause vulnerability. And Forceful Greatsword, so you can spam 100 blades. Defense. If it's one thing we hate, gentlemen, in dungeons, when you get fucking knocked down and you take quad damage, basically. I'm not saying it, you know, legit, but shit, it feels like it. So Turtle's Defense is fucking the shit. I love it. And then Last Stand, I feel that it's just so useful. Everyone just gets knocked down and you just stand there taking a hit like a G. Let me show you my stats now, and then I'll talk about my utilities. And I'll talk about my strategy. My attack power is 3,345. That's pretty much up there with typical Berserker warriors. Okay, and I have a survival build. My critical chance, despite it saying 35% in green, that's because I have the Sigil of Fury, which I always pop. It's 31% base. My armor, 3,176. That is high as shit for a warrior. Most warriors walk around with like 2,000 plus. I have over 3,000. I can take hits like a champion. I have 24,268 health. Okay, most warriors run around with their base 19,000, 20,000. That extra 4,000 health really helps combined with the toughness. Then, plus critical damage. This is where things get. This is where my warrior truly shines. Plus critical damage, even at 0%. When you crit, it's 100%, 150% increase in damage. So anything plus in this category is actually adding to 150. So critical damage plus is minus 30, so it's 180 increase in damage. It's not much. It's not the typical 50 plus of a Berserker warrior, but it's still not 0. So I'm still going to crit hard as shit. 30 critical chance and up, I feel is the hot spot. Unless you're a Berserker warrior, every build you do, if you want to do damage that stands out, you want 30 as a warrior. Why? This is why. Let me move this for a second. Actually, I'll exit out.
For great justice.
35 plus seconds of Fury. Okay, this is what happens. It becomes 55% crit chance. Fury adds a 20% increase in critical chance. So, my Sigil of Fire will always pretty much proc 50% crit chance for a build that's not a pure Berserker build is still fucking awesome. I crit very, very often, gentlemen. I crit hard, I crit often, and I am not even running a Berserker build. Because another thing I like about this build is for Great Justice is a 25-second recast. So you pop this often, you pop Sigil of Rage, and when both of these run out, you're going to have a, what, 8 to 10 seconds of you not having crit chance at 50%. But then once those 8 to 10 seconds passes, you can pretty much pop for Great Justice and Sigil of Rage again. And, gentlemen, let's be serious. When you're in a dungeon, there's usually more than one warrior. Therefore, you're going to have more than one for Great Justice. Therefore, my crit chance is always, during a dungeon run, 55 plus. How does that sound? See, with this build, I've created a warrior that can dish damage, dish it hard, take hits, and have a larger health pool. I feel that I've messed around with runes, all different types of orbs. I've spent easily over 200 gold on my warrior on experimentation, but making goals easy in this game. And I feel that this build works. It works wonders for me in player versus environment, player versus world. I'm still learning the ins and outs of player versus player. Doesn't exactly work in that because you can't use orbs and that shit. So I might do another video talking about player versus player. But this build, with this build, I can survive. I am no longer a liability that Berserkers are to a party. I can take hits, and then when everyone's on the ground, I'm still standing. So let me talk about my utilities and why it looks kind of awkward. Depending on the party I had, depends on the utilities I use. Everyone talks about, I got this perfect build, I don't ever change my utilities. If you don't ever change your utilities, you're fucking stupid, first off. Okay, there is no perfect build. There is no using consistent, utilities. If I have a Guardian in my group, I typically will not run any form of condition removal. If I have 0 Guardians in my group, I will run Mending, and quite possibly, depending on the party, if no one truly has condition removal, I might run Shake It Off. And if I got a Guardian or someone in the party, another warrior filled with superior runes of the soldier, I will rely on my favorite setup, which is Healing Surge for Great Justice, Sigil of Fury, Endure Pain, Sigil of Rage. This skill is my fucking favorite, next to Sigil of Fury. Sigil of Fury is my favorite skill, pretty much, like I said, next to Endure Pain. Why? Because, I'll explain why. This rifle on my back can cause so much fucking damage consistently from a distance, especially when you have 2 abilities that recharge your fucking adrenaline all the way. When I'm in a fight, before I ever get into a fight, it pretty much looks like this.
For great justice.
So now I'm completely buffed. I'm completely buffed, and I already have full adrenaline. Okay, that's pretty much fucking awesome. So now let's say I gotta retreat. I back up. I pop that burst skill, and the only time I ever pull out my rifle is when I need to retreat and recover. So you in a sense you use Healing Surge. You'll get all your adrenaline back. And what does that mean? That is another burst skill. By the time you use that second burst skill, you get back in the fight. Now, even though this isn't actually going down because I'm not actually hitting anything, but when I use that second burst skill with the rifle, I have 0 adrenaline again. I get back into the fight, and I just got all my adrenaline again to get all the benefits of having full adrenaline with Greatsword. That's why I love Sigil of Fury. Because with Sigil of Fury combined with Healing Surge, I pretty much will always have full adrenaline. Therefore, I will always be doing my max damage. And if I need to fight from a distance, I am always able to pop burst skills one after another. So that's why I use this utility setup. And that's why I feel that my build is on the money. If you would like more videos on Guild Wars 2, or if you have any forms of advice, or you'd like to see me do something different, make a different type of build, I currently only play Warrior. I'm working on World Completion. As you can clearly see, it's 91%. I got like 2 more zones to go. Then I gotta get all the waypoints and points of interest in World versus World, which is a bitch, by the way. But other than that, thank you for watching my video. Like I said, everything will be in the video description. I'm sorry if you have trouble keeping up with how fast I speak or my cursing. I can't help it. I'm from fucking New Jersey. It's what I do. Stop fucking calling me. So catch you guys next video. Peace.